that tall on your feet. Later make up the difference. Toss and turn in your sleep. Family, I know you miss them. Stripped and robbed from the streets. Starting to get the picture. Fight for your life to feed. Watch how you turn out winning. This shit is easy, man. I pray.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Godly Potential YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about an extremely important topic. And this topic is going to be geared around altars, and more specifically, ancestor altars. The reasons for building one, what it is, and the benefits of having it. First, let's go into what it is. What is an altar? An altar, other people call them shrines, is basically a platform in which you can venerate a deity or a being, be it ancestor, one that's deceased, right? You venerate them, you liberate them, or you provide value so they can provide value back, right? That's basically what an altar is, right? It is a sacred place in which you can add value to in order for them to be liberated or to exchange the value back to you, right? What are the importance of having an ancestor altar? More specifically, not really going to talk about deity altars, but mainly ancestor altars. Why would you want to build an ancestor altar? Well, this reason for building an ancestor altar goes very deep. See, recently, shout out to brother Yusuf on name of his channel is New Life Tools, I believe. He talked about how he had this experience where he basically helped his family member that was in a hell state, right? And I believe it's the video, or it might have been a different video, but he also stated how basically this 3D dimension that we live on right now is just another dimension of hell, right? This is hell. I mean, all the hellish shit goes on here. This is a hell state. I mean, especially today, look at the shit that's going on today. This is hell, right? This is a training grounds, and this is also hell, okay? With that, when your ancestors make the transitions, right, when they leave the physical and go into the spiritual, they also can end up in lower levels of hell, right? Because this is just a higher level of hell. So they can end up in lower hell states, okay? They can end up in these states because they were a Christian or a Catholic or they belong to some religious group that believed in the theory of heaven and hell, right? And if they felt like they did wrong, they placed themselves in these hell states when they transition, okay? Or they lived this life and they didn't spiritually evolve. They got caught up in the trappings of this hell and they didn't evolve. So they are in a hell state, pretty much waiting to reincarnate, working out their karma in those states, okay? They may be literally burning in some of these states because they feel like they have this idea of that's what hell is. Now, an example that brother Yusuf used was he seen his cousin pretty much who died of a heart attack, who kept getting stabbed in the heart, and he kept reliving that over and over and over again, right? Some of our ancestors are going through the same shit, right? Now, he was spiritually evolved enough to pretty much go into that realm and pretty much extract his ancestor out, right? But many of us, we don't have those abilities yet. So what can we do? Well, this is where ancestor altars come in, okay? Building your ancestor altar and giving offerings to them is basically, you're feeding them energy so they can become liberated, okay? Right? When you make this ancestor altar and you give offerings to it, to those ancestors known and those ancestors unknown, you're liberating the whole group, the whole lineage is being liberated, it's being uplifted, it's being energized. And with that, the ancestors or the main ancestors, pretty much who's in charge of the ancestors, you can say, they can extract those ancestors out of those hell states. right? Because they're getting more energized and stuff. Like, this universe works off a law of exchange, right? If you're constantly asking some being, some person, whatever it is, for something, and you're not giving anything in exchange, they're going to get depleted if they keep on giving to you. So when you're asking your ancestors to do stuff for you, you're calling on these spirits, you don't know who you're calling on. Mainly, a lot of times your ancestors are going to answer that call. But if they keep on trying to help you out, they're going to get depleted eventually. And that well is going to dry out. So by building this ancestor altar, giving them offerings, right? You're feeding them so they can continue to feed you on this realm, right? They can help you manifest shit. They can align you with certain people and certain things, certain subject matters, right? That's going to help you evolve more and more. And with that, they're going to, not only are they going to help you with that, but they can, once you begin to create that bond in a relationship with them, you will be able to communicate with them. You will be able to figure out what they pretty much bestowed upon you, what type of gifts that you have, that you've been given by them, right? Like, I recently found out that I was given the element of thunder, right? The air element, the sky, right? That deals with the mind, thinking, manifestation, right? Just that small little thing that I learned that I have has made me shift my focus when it comes to manifestation for me. Now you can do this process and you can figure out what gifts you have, so you can begin to hone in on those gifts and stop wasting your time on shit that you really shouldn't be wasting your time on, right? They can encourage you along your path. You go to them when you're heartbroken, when you're depressed, when you're sad, you got money troubles, whatever earthly shit it is, right? You go to them with that and they can help you. So as long as you're helping them, right? You're feeding them, as well as you're uplifting them on that realm. Okay? So those are the reasons why you should create an ancestor altar. The first time I was connected to my ancestors, it's pretty much I would say the main ancestor I have, right? He pretty much told me that this is not a light matter. This is the big deal, actually. This is pretty serious, that I pretty much continue to do this work, because in doing so, when I empower them, I empower myself, because the ancestors are within you, right? It's running through your blood. But not only that, by empowering them and empowering myself, I am allowing our bloodline to carry on, live on, as well as our name. That was a big thing for my ancestors. Our name should be put out there, right? Because in previous lifetimes for those ancestors, they were real intellectual about it. They didn't really put too much stuff into action. So now it's my job to put this shit in action, right? To pretty much to show the world what we represent. Okay? So get you an ancestor altar to uplift your lineage so they can uplift you. Right? This is especially like in today's world, like a lot of people asking like, what do we need to do? We know we see all the shit's going on. What we need to do? We need to march. We need to protest. We need to violent protest. Whatever. Do we take the Malcolm X approach? Do we take the Martin Luther King approach? Whatever. Look, this is not a physical fucking war. It's a spiritual war. The people who got this shit going on are the elites, right? They're the one running this shit, and they work with the dark arts. Okay, they're tapped into the spirituality. A lot of people are like, that's woo, that's bullshit, that's new age shit, right? That's what they want you to think, because they're taking away from your power. Like for me, for my people, going back lineages from the motherland, you can say, or here in the Native Americas, right? What did we practice before we were given religion? We had a form of spirituality, right? We had that, and we practiced these certain things, okay? Be it voodoo, Santeria, Palo Mayombo, the Native American, their spiritual systems, whatever. They took that away from us and pretty much gave us this book with no spells in there, right? They stripped us away from our power. Our power is of a spiritual nature because we're spiritual beings. So tap back into that. That's the only way you're gonna be able to change any fucking thing. And with that, like I said earlier, this is hell, right? This is the hell state. Focus on yourself. Focus on uplifting yourself. You cannot help someone that's drowning if you're right next to them drowning as well. That's just not how it's gonna go, right? You gotta get your shit together and start doing your work, and then other people will see and they can come along, but you can't save them. It's all about you. And we're all spiritual beings trying to figure this shit out. Eventually, they're gonna figure it out if it takes them way more lifetimes. That's up to them, right? But it's up to you to figure this shit out as soon as possible. I've been told that I've been here so many times. Probably too many times, actually. So why not try to get this shit this lifetime by focusing on the spirit? So that's what an Ancestor Altar is, right? Those are the benefits of having an Ancestor Altar. Those are the reasons why you should build an Ancestor Altar. Now, if this is interesting to you, if you're thinking about getting an Ancestor Altar now, if you're thinking about building one, you don't know where to begin, don't worry, I got you. I've created a starter, an Ancestor Altar starter kit, or a deity altar starter kit, if you want to go that route, right? If you already have an Ancestor Altar. I created a starter kit. I threw it up on Etsy. I'll link the Etsy store in the description. Look, it's not free, right? Nothing in this fucking world is free. I stated earlier, it's the law of exchange, right? You pretty much put out and you get back, right? You can't just consume without giving back, right? So I created an Ancestor Altar set, right? It's ready to go as soon as you get it, right? Just throw some pictures of your ancestors on there. If you don't got any pictures, you can write the names down there, right? Add water to the water element I got. Light the candle, light the incense, right? Because lighting the candle is pretty much like ringing the doorbell. Lighting the incense is giving them energy automatically, right? So if you want to buy this Ancestor Altar, this altar set, you can check out my Etsy store, get you one. There's only 4 right now in the store, right? It's limited, right? Once those are gone, I'll restock. But go on there, get you the altar set, set up an Ancestor Altar, and begin liberating your lineage, because you're ultimately liberating yourself, right? Change those, destroy those, get rid of those generational curses, because they're not serving you. I also want to say that another thing that my ancestors said, that this is not light. Shit ain't easy. Once you call them into your life, like, yes, they begin to help you, but a lot of times if shit's not serving you, if shit ain't right for you, you will hear about it. You will know about it, especially if you start working with the gods. But get your Ancestor Altar. Start giving back. Give offerings, right? Like I said, it's a starter kit, ready to go as soon as you get it. Set the table up somewhere. Put the elements on there. Add photos if you have them. If not, write the names. If not, you don't have to. Basically, when you're ready for the offering, just say it's for my ancestors known, those unknown. It's that simple. Most simplest things often be the most powerful ones, right? So don't downplay the power of Ancestor Altars or altars in general. Get you one. Go check out the Etsy store. There's limited quantity. I will be adding more to it. Yeah, that's it. That's what an altar is. Those are the reasons why you should build an altar. Those are benefits of having an altar. Remember, this is a spiritual fucking war. We're spiritual beings and we're at war. So use the tools that you have, right? It brings up another thing real quick. If you're going to work with any type of spirit, it should be your ancestors first, because they're the closest ones to you. They're connected to you through bloodline, right? it's almost like a slap in the face when you go to another entity seeking help when your ancestors are right there and they're starving, right? They're depleted. Feed your ancestors. Ask your ancestors first. You got a lot of ancestors too, no matter who you are. Once you start feeding them, they start walking with you, right? And just by having your ancestors walking with you, having that knowledge of that, it gives you a sense of direction as well as courage that you haven't experienced before. You know that when you're walking down this fucking road in the middle of the night, you got your ancestors on the left and on the right of you and behind you, because they got your back. As long as you listen to them, as long as you feed them. But yeah, that's all I want to say about that. Check out the Etsy store. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.
Later make up the difference. Toss and turn in your sleep. Family, I know you miss them. Tripped and robbed from the streets. Starting to get the picture. Fight for your life to feed. Watch how you turn out winning. This shit is easy to me. I play the cards.